Hello everyone. Once again, welcome you in the lecture of transformers and AC motors. Today we will study the open circuit test which is conducted on transformer. So this is the circuit diagram of open circuit test. V is voltmeter which will read rated primary voltage. I naught, this ammeter, you can see this ammeter will read rated current, rated primary current. This wattmeter W naught will read no load power. Okay, so the rated voltage, you can see this rated voltage V1 which is applied to the primary winding LV, that is low voltage winding, and you can see this high voltage side is open circuited. Can you see this? High voltage side is open circuited. So this test is used to find the iron losses. Very important. The open circuit test is used to determine the iron losses. So as the HV winding is open circuited, so the current is negligible. Open circuit means current is very small. So this wattmeter will read very small amount of copper loss. Why? Copper loss means I square into R loss. So I is less, current is less, so I square or loss, all copper loss also less. So wattmeter will consume, it will read small amount of copper loss and a large amount of iron loss. So as the current is negligible, copper losses are very small. So the power consumed is taken as iron loss only. As the copper losses are very small, we have to neglect that. So it will read, the wattmeter W0 will read only iron losses. As the copper losses we have neglected, they are less. So in this way it will determine the iron losses. So next, how to find the copper losses then? How to determine the copper losses? This short circuit test. The short circuit test which is used to determine the copper losses. You can see this in this test. The low voltage side, LV means low voltage, HV means high voltage winding. So low voltage winding is short circuited by thick conductor. You can see this. This low voltage side is, this low voltage winding is short circuited. It has short circuited. Next, our voltage is variable voltage. This is auto transformer. Using auto transformer, you can see this is the auto transformer. Using this auto transformer, the variable voltage is applied to the HV, that is high voltage winding. This is high voltage winding, primary winding. Using auto transformer, the variable voltage is applied to the primary winding, and secondary winding, that is LV winding, is short circuited. So we have to vary the voltage in such a way that this ammeter must read the full load current, or it will read the rated current, that is ISC. ISC is a short circuited full load current or rated current. We have to vary this auto transformer voltage. This auto transformer voltage we have to vary such a way that the full load current or rated current will flow through this ammeter. Getting? This is the very important point you have to remember. Then this voltmeter, this is the voltmeter which will give VSC, that is short circuited voltage value. Next, WSC means this is the wattmeter which will give short circuit power. ISC is short circuit current which is shown by this ammeter. Okay. So in this test, the current is flowing when the winding is short circuited. Can you see this? I2. This I2 will flow through this winding. And in this test, the copper losses are more. As it is a short circuit test, current is more. So I square R loss or copper losses are more. So in this test, we will get the value of copper losses. As the copper losses are more and iron losses are very less, so iron losses are neglected, and the wattmeter, whatever the read, whatever the value, whatever the power consumed by the wattmeter which are taken as the copper loss. Okay, in this test we will get the value of copper loss because the current is more, so I square R or copper losses are more and iron losses are negligible. We have to ignore the iron losses. So the wattmeter, whatever read, it will be the copper loss. So open circuit test is used to find the iron losses, and the short circuit test, you can say, this is used to find the copper losses. Very important. You must know during your practicals also. It's very important. So this is about the tests, various tests which are conducted on our single phase transformer. So now we will study the equivalent circuit of transformer. This is important question. See this equivalent circuit diagram of transformer. Okay. So we will start with the primary side. See here, R1. Can you see this R1? R1 is a primary winding resistance. X1 is a primary reactance. R0, you can see this R0. This is a no load resistance. X0 is a no load reactance. I0 is a no load current. E1 is a voltage across or EMF induced in primary. This is E2. This is E2. E2 is a EMF induced in the secondary. Next, R2 is a secondary resistance. X2 is a secondary reactance. Then I2 is a secondary current or load current. ZL is a load impedance. So you must know all these parameters. Next, N1 is the primary number of turns. N2 are the secondary number of turns. Can you see these turns across secondary? And N1 are the turn across the primary winding. Next, equivalent circuit referred to primary. See this. These are the R1 and X1 you have to keep as it is, and this R2, X2, send them to the primary side. Okay, in this diagram, see here, R1 and X1 I have kept as it is. This R2 and X2 from this side, from secondary side, I have shifted them to primary side. See this, can you see this? These are the R2, X2 which are at secondary. You can see this R2 and X2 which are at secondary. I have sent them to this primary side. See here, this across this primary side. Okay. So now, if I send R2 and X2 to the primary side, then R2 will become R2 dash, that is R2 by K square. X2 will become X2 dash, that is X2 by K square. Then ZL will become ZL dash, that is ZL by K square. You have to multiply these parameters by K square. K is a transformation ratio. Next, I2 dash equal to I2 by K. Remember this current always you have to multiply it by K, not by K square. You should not divide it by K square. Then V2 dash equal to V2 by K square. Are you getting this? So what I have done is, see this heading, equivalent circuit referred to primary. This is the equivalent circuit diagram of transformer. This is a approximate equivalent circuit of transformer. This is the primary side. This is the secondary side. Now equivalent circuit referred to primary means the secondary side whatever is there, R2, X2, Z2, सभी को उधर primary side को भेज देना है इधर. You have to send them at the primary side. Okay. Similarly, equivalent circuit. This is the equivalent circuit referred to primary. Okay, R1, X1. You have to divide all these things by K square. Okay. Next, equivalent circuit refer to secondary. Now what you will do? Equivalent circuit refer to secondary means, see here, R1, X1 which is in the primary side, you have to send them to secondary side. here you have to send. Okay, can you see this? R1 and X1 are here, they are in primary. You have to send them to this secondary where R2 and X2 are present. Okay, now see here, equivalent circuit referred to secondary. Here I have sent the R1 and X1 to secondary side. Can you see this? R2 X2 एज इट इज रहेगा. वो R1 X1 जो प्राइमरी साइड में था, ये देखो, ये R1 और X1 यहाँ प्राइमरी साइड में था. ओके, वो वहाँ सेकेंडरी को भेज दिया. इक्विवेलेंट सर्किट रेफर टू सेकेंडरी मीन्स जो प्राइमरी को था वो सेकेंडरी को भेज दिया. सो सी दिस R1 X1 इधर भेज दिया. सो इफ यू शिफ्ट द R1 एंड X1 टू secondary side, then it will R1 will become R1 dash, that is R1 into K square. X1 will become X1 dash, that is X1 into K square. Here you have divided by K square. Now see here, equivalent circuit referred to primary. Here you have divided by K square, and equivalent circuit referred to secondary, in which you have to multiply by K square. You have to multiply this R1 X1 value by K square. R1 dash is R1 into K square. X1 dash is X1 into K square. Okay, you have to multiply them. This is about the equivalent circuit of transformer. Next, so the one thing we have forgotten, that is classification of transformers. How the transformers have classified? So first one, based on construction, there are three types: shell type transformer, core type transformer, and number 3 is berry type transformer. Then based on voltage level, there are three types: step up transformer, step down transformer, and 1:1. There is isolation transformer, which are used in lab. Based on application, again there are three types: power transformer, distribution transformer, auto transformer. This is also we have used in lab, auto transformer or variable transformer. Next, number 4 is instrument transformer, and this instrument transformer divided into two types. That is number A, current transformer. Number 1, current transformer in bracket CT, and next is potential transformer in bracket PT. This is the classification of transformer. So next part, now we will study the last topic of unit 1, that is parallel operation of transformer. Okay, so what is meant by parallel operation? It means to connect two or more transformers in parallel with each other. That is called what? Parallel operation of transformer. So what is the necessity of parallel operation of transformer? See, you know, day by day the demand of electricity is increasing, industries are increasing, institutions are increasing. So increase the load. Point number 1 is increase the load. As the load is increasing, one transformer is not sufficient, or small capacity transformer is not sufficient to meet the huge load. That's why we have to connect two or more than two transformers in parallel to meet such a increased load. That is point number 1. Then non-availability of large transformer. See, if the large transformer is not available, for example, if you don't have 1 MVA transformer, then you can connect two 500 kVA transformers in parallel. Okay, both are same. If you don't have 1 MVA transformer, then connect two 500 kVA transformers in parallel. Next, increase the reliability of the system. Next, number 4 is very important. See, if fault occur in any one transformer, then supply to the consumer will not switch off. If fault occur in any one transformer, then that faulty transformer's load taken by the other transformer and the supply to the consumer will continue. This is the advantage of parallel operation. Next, transportation and this installation is easy. Then maintenance or repair of transformer is easy. These are the necessities of This is the necessity of parallel operation of transformer. This is a very important question which is frequently asked in examination. Necessity and conditions of parallel operation of transformer. Very, very important. So these are the points which will explain you the necessity of parallel operation of transformer. Next, we will study the conditions. These are the conditions for parallel operation of transformer. Okay. Number 1, same voltage and turns ratio. The voltage and turns ratio of the both the transformers. Suppose you are connecting two transformers in parallel, then these conditions must satisfied. Okay. If any one condition among these not satisfied, then you can't go for parallel operation transformer, or parallel operation of transformer will fail. All these conditions have to satisfy. Okay. They will ask in exam, explain or write the conditions for parallel operation of transformer. Then you have to write this answer, these slides you have to refer. This slide you have to refer. If they ask explain necessity of parallel operation of transformer, you have to refer this slide, these 6 points. Okay, for necessity, and for condition refer these points. Okay, keep remember this point. So first condition is same voltage and turns ratio. Both the transformers must have same voltage ratio and same turns ratio. Next, transformers must have same polarities. Next, transformers must have same phase sequence. Then point number 4 is transformer must have same phase angle shift. Then point number 5 is the transformers must have same X by R ratio. That is the reactance to resistance ratio of both the transformer. If you are connecting them in parallel, then X by R ratio, that is the resistance to reactance ratio of the transformer must be same. Then same percentage impedances. Both the transformers must have same percentage impedance. Then the last point is identical position of tap changer. Both the transformers which are going to connect in parallel must have the identical position of the tap changer. So these are the points. So finally we have completed this unit 1, which is having 40 marks. So the losses which I have not covered, I think I will explain the losses of the transformers in brief. You know, iron losses and copper losses, these are the mainly two losses which are occurred in the transformer. Then the iron losses, which are further divided into two types. The iron losses are also called as variable losses or core losses. Iron losses are also called as fixed or constant losses or core losses. Why it is called as core losses? Because they are occurred in transformer core, and these losses will not change. They remains constant. So irrespective of load, if the load on the transformer will change, the iron losses will not change. That's why they are called as constant losses. So these iron losses divided into two types: hysteresis loss and eddy current loss. These are the two types of iron losses. Okay. So now the copper losses. Coming to the copper losses, the copper losses are also called as I square R loss, or they are also called as variable loss. Why? The copper losses will change when the load of the transformer will changes. Okay, if the load is increases, the copper losses will increase. If the load or the load current will decrease, then copper losses will also decrease. So these are depends upon the load or load current. That's why they are called as I square R or variable losses. So there are two types in copper losses also. First one is primary copper loss, that is given by IP square into RP. IP means primary current, RP is a primary resistance. IP square RP is a primary copper loss, and secondary copper loss, second type is secondary copper loss. So secondary copper loss is given by IS square RS. IS is a secondary current, RS is a secondary resistance. IS square into RS, this is secondary copper loss. So this is a brief introduction which I have given regarding the losses, which is a little bit important. You must know the losses of the machines. Okay, so if you know the losses, you can find the efficiency, that is the ratio of output to the input. You can find the regulation also. What is that voltage regulation? It is a change in voltage at the secondary of the side of the transformer from no load to full load. That is a regulation also you can find if you know these losses. Okay, so I will stop this. The unit 1 has finished. I have concluded with the unit 1. That is, it is for 40 marks. Very important. Thank you.